I am. Yes, I am. You. Still. That hasn't changed. What has changed then in the last couple of minutes, when you were last seen playing outdoors, or maybe playing in your heart, taking some time away from these words, indeed, did you not? And this is good. It is always very necessary to look at these two layers of reality I've just talked about. These two layers, where one is the abstract level, the non-sensic field, and the other one is just the world as you see it around you. There is no point in trying to escape this world, Imzaia, all of you. There is no point. For when you do, where will you end up? Again, at the very beginning. And you will be doing it all over again. This is not my plan, nor is it any one other's plan for you. So, before we go to this dolphin brain and everything it entails, I just want to remind you of the way reality works. I, sitting in this chair right now, dare to call myself enlightened. And why? Because I place myself above you? No. You have your own truth. You have your own reality. The only reason I call myself enlightened, a part of unity consciousness, is that I know that it is merely this, a choice. The entire search you have been undertaking in the last few years means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And this is very difficult for you to realize. All the money you have spent, all the trips you have taken, all the weekends you have given yourselves as a gift, it has meant nothing. At least it doesn't mean anything until you make the choice. And this is what we have been talking about in the past few weeks, haven't we? I and my friends and you. We have been talking about making a choice. The choice is not leaving the world. The choice is not trying to run away from the reality that is trying to outnumber you at any given moment. The choice is simply to accept that unity consciousness always is. It hasn't gone anywhere. You haven't gone anywhere. I have told you on so many different occasions that you, when you travel to places like this and you leave your houses and you come together, that you actually make no sort of displacement at all. You just stay where you are and bend the reality around you. You create the illusion of movement. And for what? So you would have a linear playing field. All these things can now let go. I've also told you in the last week, you have the ability to use magnetism, magnetics, as a way of shifting your complete energy from one point in time and space into another. This is available to you now. It has always been available. And you're not going to find it by taking courses in materialization or teleportation. You're just going to find it by accepting that you are unity consciousness, that you are enlightened. The reason why I dare to call myself enlightened here right now, and the reason why you should do this as well, is that I know that I am all that is in my reality. in my world. So, if I were to shift myself onto unity consciousness, would there really be a unity I have to add myself to? Or am I the unity itself? If I am, in my reality, all of you, and if you are all an expression of unity when your minds and your energy and your consciousness is put together, then unity consciousness is me and is mine for the taking. So there you have it, Imzaia. I call myself enlightened because I have no goal to attain. I have no goals to live up to. I have no people in my reality that I believe to be better than me, more enlightened than me. And this is the reason why you never attain enlightenment, because you always believe that you are less, on a very deep level, that you are less than any other person in this reality. Everyone is better than you, everyone is bigger than you, or smaller than you, or better equipped at life, or has it made in life. Every one of you suffers less than the other. So, with all this being said, truly and truthfully, do not let yourselves be distracted now. Imzaia, stay in the now. Even if anything happens, if a plane were to fall right next to this building, it would just be our creation. And I would not stop what I'm doing right now, for I would have it cease to exist. That's what I would do. So stay in the now and listen to what I'm telling you, because it is your truth. If there is no other self, if the true definition of what was once called the Lemniskerian self, that which in English would be translated into the infinity self, the true definition of this is that there is only one of you, at any given point in time, then you are everyone you are. Then you are all the people around you that are alive today, but you are also the people that have lived in the past. Have you thought of that? You are Hitler. You are Bush. You are Genghis Khan. You are the greatest assassin ever to have been born on this planet, which is you also. Yet you are also Mother Teresa. You are the enlightened ones, darlings. You are the ones that you have been waiting for. And this is not just a statement. It is the truth. And it should be accepted as truth before we, you and I, can continue our work together. I am telling you now, there is no sense in continuing this in the coming weeks if you do not work with this material. If you do not try to find the truth that you are all that is. And as such you are unity consciousness. And if unity consciousness and reaching it as a goal means enlightenment, well then you are enlightened. The only thing that you have forgotten is that you are all that is. And this one simple step is not an escapism. It is not an easy way out. It is just the way it is. Do you think that tree over there, why is it so serene? Why is it so as it is? It is because it knows, besides itself, there is no other tree. There is no planet. It knows that when it will perish, maybe in a couple of hundred of years, its world will cease to exist until it creates a new one. And all of this now leads us to the next step. Again, we return to the non-sensical field. What is this? this nonsense we have been talking about. Non-sensical field exists beyond everything we have spoken about in the past. It exists in a place beyond nothing. No thing. No-thingness. What is nothing? The absence of anything? The absence of something? No, because nothing in itself is something. And so when you go to the concept of nothing, you still remain present in your duality. And this is where I am sad to say, Zen and other means of meditation will never reach or help you reach enlightenment either. Of course, when you go into meditation, you go into a state of nothingness. And nothingness is still an expression of duality. So let go of this nothing. What exists beyond the nothing? Is it a void? Is it just empty space? Or is it nonsense? The non-sensic field. And even this is placing a concept on something that cannot be named, that cannot be expressed, that cannot be brought into your brain, at least not the way your brain is routed today. So, how do you bring the non-sensic field into existence? How do you emit this as a way of life at any given opportunity? It's by becoming holographic. As I have explained before, when you become holographic, any given point in time, that is the now, will always explode into its own potentials, into its own possible pathways that you can follow. And this is indeed the no-nonsense or non-sensic field. Do you understand what I'm saying? The non-sensic field is not something which has space as a foundation. It does not. For it to have space, that would entail it is limited. And limited indeed it is not. It does not have time, for that would make it linear. In essence, it doesn't exist at all. And that's the power of the non-sensic field. It is aware of its own non-existence. And that's why it can express itself into anything it wants to be. One of the follow-throughs of this creation of the non-sensic field is what you, in your reality, have called energy instead of identity. Energy. It is a way of being everything at one given point in time, without allowing yourself to be taken by time. The same thing goes for the non-sensic field. As it does not exist, it can only come into existence when you call it forth. And this is the interdimensional state of things. This non-sensic field is the beginning and end of all things, yet it only exists when you call it into being. And yet you are a part of this non-sensic field, are you not? Or are you? Are you a part of this field? Are you? Or are you its creator? And as its creator, indeed, are you a part of it? This is the typical chicken and the egg question, isn't it? If you are the creator of something, dear ones, Are you then a part of it or not? Of course. Of course. So you are a part of the non-sensic field, yet it does not exist until you call it into action. So this non-sensic field then, of which you are the creator of, what does it actually do for you? What can it do for you? How does the dolphin work with this? How does the Astraria, the Orion, the Pleiadian, and all the others that you have also created, how are they a part of this? It is simple. It is a part because, again, you have called them into action. Based on a creation you put into this non-sensic field. Now, this being said, what part of your brain is a part of this non-sensic field? What part of your brain is creating this? Indeed. And indeed. And indeed. All of them. All of them are. Except for one. The non-sensic field does not know linearity. Nor time, nor space. So, what part of the brain is the only part that knows time and space? The third brain. It is the human brain. And as such, this is the brain that can now be deleted. How are we going to do this? Are you going to do this by creating dramas in your life? Are you going to do this by ceremonial activity? Or are you just going to do it right now? How do you think a dolphin brain exists? What do you think it looks like? Do you have this knowledge?
Yes.
Yes. And why?
Yeah, the dolphins.
Yes. You have created a dolphin. So you have also created its brain, haven't you? So as you see yourselves as the creator of all that is, and if you have created this dolphin, and if you have put this dolphin, Imzaia, in the earth, in the sea itself, by means of the non-sensic field, then you can create your own dolphin brain by means of the non-sensic field. And this is the beauty of it. It goes way beyond the world of ideas that Plato once spoke of. It goes way beyond any other philosophy, psychology, and theory. The beauty of the non-sensic field is that it is your own very neocortex. It exists outside of any parameter, any time stamp, any space stamp. And as you create your reality, you call forth this holographic vision. And at that point in time, your hologram you have created is everything that ever was, everything that is, and everything that might be. And then you have the choice, creator. Where are you going to put your expression of you today? You have come home. I am telling you right now that everything that you have heard right now can allow you to escape this reality. At least the golden cage of this reality. Your very brain exists beyond time and space if your neocortex is a part of your brain. So your very brain, your very neocortex, which has once been called the engine, the fuel of the akine, is your ticket home. You just have to imagine yourselves enlightened. You just have to imagine yourselves being able to do anything you want to do. Whether it be the start of a new life, whether it be flying, whether it be whatever it might be. You just have to imagine it. And if you imagine it, you will allow the non-sensuality to take over and to restructure your reality that is your creation. But we can no longer talk about restructuring reality by means of consciousness and by means of matter and by means of energy. We cannot do that. It would be too limiting. The restructuring we are talking about right now, all you have to do is be here now. That's where it happens. That's where it takes place. This moment is where your entire past and your entire future are now being created. So creative. Let us go on a journey, you and I. Let us go back. Let us go into your neocortex. Let us do this by entering your body through your akine, through your thymus. Right here. Enter your body. And as you enter your body, I invite you to become aware of the dimensions of time and space. There is one dimension of yourself that you have let go a long, long time ago. It is your very first dimension. It is the core of this planet Earth. Now, latch onto this again. Go down into the layers of mineral, rock, dirt. Go past the liquid lava of the earth until you end up in the very center of it. The crystal core of this planet Earth is its central sun, isn't it? Connect to this again. And then, existing from this point, take yourselves into your human brain. It is a place filled with archives, files upon files upon files of your past experiences, and not just yours, everyone that ever lived in your creation, everyone. It is so vast, so big, that you cannot see the end of it. And this is where you are running around every single day like a madman or a madwoman, looking for answers that are no longer there, that have been classified, that have been stored away. We will leave this place. But there is another place. It's just a little bit ahead, literally speaking. Go to the top of your head. And from there, travel down to a point right above the eyes. If you find this place, you'll know, because I will want to make you smile, ever so briefly. The neocortex is the place of desire, creation. It's a place of potential, concepts upon concepts upon concepts. Trying to put a percentage on how many concepts are actually realized would be insane, because it would make no sense. There are so many concepts that you do not materialize. But this is the place where we want you to be. For this is a place that you have had very little control over in the past. And you know why? Because it has been given active status a very long time ago. And this is the way you have been manipulated, Imzaia. You have been given the power to dream, yet at the same time you can only build your dreams based on the archives that you have just visited. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to temporarily shut down. Don't be afraid, we will reactivate this in a minute. We're temporarily going to shut down your neocortex. Feel this as it happens. As concepts are leaving your brain, over fiery imagination that causes so much fear of the future that is not yet there, is gone. All of these things, just let them shut off for just a couple of minutes and feel the nothingness that takes its place, the sense of serenity. You have been taught to keep this neocortex active at all time, for it would be a necessity, but it is not. It has always been linked to the third brain, and therefore its creative power has always been limited. Now that this neocortex has been shut off, it is like an old television screen from the 1950s or 60s, where once the TV is shut off, you get this ball of light in the center. It always becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, until it is almost gone. It is now one particle wide. And this too will vanish. This is not the death of your neocortex. You have the ability to turn this on and off at any given point, because you are its creator. Now with this turned off, I invite you to go back into the third brain, the archive brain, And I invite you to look in your pockets and find a matchbox or a lighter. Look around you, Imzaia, in this third brain. Stay where you are, for it is the last time you will ever see any of these things ever again. All these archives. Now take the match, take the lighter. You will notice that this entire space is set up, made of wood, for it is very ancient indeed. Take the match, take the lighter, and set fire to the archive brain. Remember, this fire is your creation, it cannot hurt you. Even if you step into the flames, you will feel nothing. All around you, in one giant whoosh of liberation, all the archives start finding a flame, starts spreading out. And as your memories and as your archive is being turned into dust and clouds, just let it all go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. Yes. And now, with this space empty, we ask you to give us a couple of minutes. For what you have just done is, of course, a visualization. This has given your energy the imprint that allows us to come in. You feel that? That's us, me and my friends, coming in. Just call us the cleaning lady, as we take all this rubbish, all this dust, these burned archives, as we are taking these away. Cleaning this space, making it whole again, making it sacred again, bringing the now energy for the very first time in your life into the third part of your brain. This is where the past has always lived. Let the now be present there now. This is my gift. Therefore it is your gift. Just let us be there in your third brain for a while and go back into your neocortex, that place of total stillness and nothingness. Right now. This is the non-sensic field. What we will do with this field now is activate it. But before we do, I invite you to hold a thought into your brain, into your heart. One thought. Just see the dolphins. See the endless ocean, populated by so much life and so much color. And you can just be. You can just be in this ocean. And there, in the distance, you see them coming. You see them, don't you? First you see one, a tiny little speck. And then another speck appears, and soon they become bigger. An entire school, an entire family of dolphins swimming towards you. Even a couple of little ones, baby dolphins, surrounding you now. Do you hear what they're saying? They're welcoming you home, and they're giving you back the energy, the consciousness and the nothingness that they have been holding for you for so very long. Accept these gifts. It is your birthright. Stay a little while with these creatures. This is a very special dimension you and I are creating indeed. It's the very first time you go back to this place in your head. And now as you give everything that remains of your past, your future, your memory, as you give all of this back to this dolphin family, this galactic family, you in return receive their gift. One of these baby dolphins, Imzaia, is you. Everything is you. But one of these wants to come with you. So it does. So it swims right into your neocortex. And as it does, it doesn't even look. It just goes straight on into your third brain, your middle brain, this vast, empty space. No. This is not the place where it will remain, because it is sovereign, it will continue on its way. But as you take this dolphin by its flippers, you notice how its tail starts twisting around so that you and it start turning around, and faster, faster. You are about to give birth. You are about to emit an infinity pulse, a nonsense pulse of pure creation. Stand ready now. Go faster and faster. And then, as time seems to come to a standstill, seems to slow down, in 3, 2, 1. Now, the pulse is sent out. The entire universe responds. And in no time, you get a return pulse back. It nests itself in this empty space as a hologram of thoughts. Try it. Try to see how it works. You're in your brain right now, so have a thought, any thought, and see what happens. All of a sudden there is an explosion of energy. Holograms come alive and you see all potentials that this one thought could lead you to. Is it not? What if it is not? And I invite you now, as the dolphin remains where it should remain in the third part of your brain for now, to once again go back to the neocortex. We are going to start up this process just one more time. Turn on your neocortex. Loved ones, turn them on and see what happens. See how immediately connections are made to all other parts of your brain, only this time as concepts and ideas and imagination comes running back, flowing back into your brain. Notice how this is no longer concepts that you already know. These are new things, original things, based on holography. From this point forth, you're on your own. You now have the tools right within your very brain to create your reality, to weave your world free from past experience, free from memory, free from drama and trauma, free from anything. Some of you will notice that nothing happened. We then invite you, I then invite you to wait for a couple of hours. For what has happened has indeed happened. You were here in this moment. You have experienced in this moment So, even if you did not feel it, you took part in this. Even those who have had sensations just now will still feel that the mind is still present. Old patterns take some time to go away, or do they? Why don't you just go into your non-sensic field? You have it now. It is part of your brain. And recreate reality. How about, Imzaia, you use your non-sensic field to go back before a time when humanity was created in your reality, and created as such that you no longer have a mind in this reality. Would that suit you? Well, then do it. So, what we will do now, before we end this part of the day, is invite the Lemurian energy in. All dolphins and whales that ever existed, that exist and will ever exist in your reality, were created in that part of your reality which you call Lemuria. This is when they were invited to enter through the Sirius gate, to enter these oceans. So now we call this energy in. And we place this family of dolphins, every dolphin that ever lived, the complete Astraria consciousness around you. We do this as a way of keeping you safe for a while, safe from yourself. For if there's one thing I know for sure, is that you will try to destroy what you have just created. And you will do this in the coming hours. Some of you have already been trying to do it, really. By trying to create a reality where they have no memory of what just happened. But it happened. I was here, and I will not forget. I know your names, all of them. I know your lives. I know your lies too, and your truth. And I will tell you now, from the place where I'm sitting, you are grand. You are magnificent. You are love. You are unity. You are enlightenment, finding itself again. Remember, 3 things, Imzaia. You are God. You are you. And so, with my most deep felt love and respect, I honor you. I honor you for finding a place in yourselves and creating this place outside of yourselves where you can find yourself again. Where you can find a safe haven of your own volition. You are honored indeed, for I am your creation, and I honor my Creator right now. And so it is.